2. There we go. Now we're on air. I'm sorry. No problem. Okay. All right. Rialto Unified School District Special Board Meeting of the Board of Education agenda, March 1st, 2023 at the Dr. John Casaluma Education Center, 182 East Walnut Avenue, Rialto, California. Any individual who required disability-related accommodation or modification, including auxiliary aids and services, in order to participate in the board meeting should contact the superintendent or the designee in writing. We're going to call the meeting to order at 6:31, and we have Mr. Carlos Villegas of the 3Fs law firm, and he will give us the Pledge of Allegiance.
All right, if everyone can please stand, place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much.
I'm gonna put a sticker on my chair so I know which one's mine.
I would like to introduce again Ms. Attorney Carlos Villegas of the 3Fs. The governing board is planning a governance-focused workshop for March or April 2023 for September the 25th or September the 1st or September the 8th. So I would like to, he will be helping us conduct those workshops, and I would like to call for a motion to adopt the agenda.
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Vote by board member to adopt the agenda. Ms. Dominguez?
Aye.
Mr. Montez?
Aye.
Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
Ms. O'Kelly is absent. And Stephanie Lewis, aye. Public comments not on the agenda. At this time, any person wishing to speak on any items not on the agenda will be granted 3 minutes. Do we have?
Not for items not on the agenda, we do not.
Okay. Moving on to D.2, public comments on the agenda. Any person wishing to speak on any items on the agenda will be granted 3 minutes. Do we have any?
We do. We have Ana Gonzalez.
All right, good evening, school board members, staff, and community. Ana Gonzalez. I am not only here representing Alianza Latina as the president, but I'm also representing all the children and parents of the Rialto Unified School District, as well as my own children. So it has come to my attention that there's been a couple of board meetings that some folks have seen as a disappointment for our community. And then I come to find out that we have this special item on the agenda on E1 for the need of training on etiquette and Robert's rules and things that our board members need to keep just a board meeting going smoothly. And we're supposed to set the example, not only for our students that we represent, but for the parents, for the staff. So when we expect children to behave in the classroom, and we expect teachers to behave and show respect to our students, to our parents, it starts right here in our boardroom. And so I encourage the board to think about those actions, because I have missed a couple of meetings. I tend to either watch from home or just come here and share the space with our lovely staff as we talk about finding solutions for the betterment of the education of our children. But we are at this, at the tip of the iceberg in our nation, where there's so much division in our communities, and we're supposed to set the example as leaders. So I hope that you guys take those trainings with a grain of salt, and that you resolve your differences during closed sessions, maybe, or outside of the public eye. It's okay to have debates. It's okay to ask questions and have conversations, it's okay to agree to disagree. I mean, I've learned the hard way, and I'm an activist, and I always try to push my ideals to people, right? Because I think that my ideals are the best, and we all have that. We're all different, but we're supposed to be here to set the example for our children. And so my kids are watching, and I'm sure other kids and parents are watching, and our parents are concerned. They're seeing chaos in this district, and I hope it gets better. So I encourage, I'm glad that those trainings are happening, so thank you, Superintendent, or whoever led that conversation, or the board. But we need to do better. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Mirna Ruiz.
Good evening, Board, viewing audience, and Cabinet. My name is Myrna Reese, and I'm here pretty much, for the same reason. I am so glad that this is going to take place, training. But I'm also concerned with everything else that's happening. We need to look at what's really happening in our district and not worry whether we're presenting or not presenting and doing that in public. If we are worried that we are, recognizing too much a certain department or not, then let's look into other departments. But the main thing we hear that we need to focus is the students. What is happening in the classrooms, what they need in the classrooms, what the teachers need, the support that teachers need, the support that special ed department needs, the support that our special ed students need. Don't be worrying about what's being recognized and who. That's something that we need to forget about. And like Ms. Gonzalez said, take that inside. We don't need to dirty our, dirty laundry here for everybody to see. We already have enough negativity happening, and for us not to be showing that. We need to unite. We need to work together. And you guys are not doing that. You guys are not setting the example for everybody else. So don't be do as I say and not as I do, because that is not going to work. Good evening.
Thank you.
Celia Sarabia.
Buenas noches. Voy a esperar al señor intérprete. Buenas noches, miembros de la mesa directiva.
Good evening, members of the board.
Presidenta Miss Luis,
President Ms. Lewis,
audiencia
audience,
y nuestro superintendente doctor Ávila.
and Superintendent Dr. Avila.
Esta noche estoy acá para pedirles que guarden la fecha de abril 16. Vamos a tener nuestra celebración anual de los sacramentos de los niños especiales y como
Today I'm here to ask you to save the date for April the 16th. We will have the celebration of the Holy Sacraments for our special needs children.
y como siempre va a ser un gran honor contar con la presencia de todos ustedes.
And as always, it'll be a great honor to have you join us.
Y también quiero hacer un comentario referente a cuando venimos a hacerle reconocimientos a personas que trabajan en nuestro distrito.
I also want to comment on when we have recognitions to those people who work for our districts.
Para nosotros es un gran honor contar con toda esa gente que trabaja en nuestro distrito, que se esfuerzan por nuestros estudiantes y por nuestras familias y nuestra comunidad.
For us, it's a great honor to have these people that make such an effort for the benefit of our children, our families, and our community.
Tenemos muchas familias acá, muchos trabajadores de nuestro distrito que a veces yo quiero traer una lista larga, y creo que no terminaría de decirlo, los 6 minutos no me alcanzarían.
There are so many workers in the district. I mean, there's such a long list. It'd be such a long list that I wouldn't have enough time with my 6 minutes to name every single one of them.
Y el Departamento de Nutrición no es nuestro favorito, sino que lo reconocemos porque reconocemos el trabajo que hacen y que han hecho durante todo este tiempo de pandemia, hicieron una gran labor con nuestra comunidad.
And the nutrition department, it isn't so much that they're our favorite department, but rather because of the job that they did specifically during the pandemic.
Mientras muchos estábamos descansando, guardados en nuestras casas, Ellas estaban muy preocupadas porque llegaran alimentos a las familias de nuestros estudiantes.
Well, many of us were at home keeping safe. They were actually concerned with making sure that people had food to eat, the students had food to eat.
Así que yo, de verdad, un gran aplauso para ellos y para muchos que trabajan acá en nuestro distrito. Uno de ellos es el tío Derek, que también siempre está muy pendiente de nuestros estudiantes. Muchas veces se han negado a entrar, especialmente cuando son parques de casas. Y Derek busca cómo trabajar ese punto para que nuestras familias y nuestros niños tengan acceso a la educación.
So a huge applause to all of them, and for many other people, individuals who work in our district. One of them is Uncle Derek, who goes well beyond and finds a way to always reach those families who sometimes cannot be reached.
Y ustedes mismos, como miembros de la mesa directiva, han estado muy unidos y han trabajado muy bien en todo este tiempo.
And you yourselves
Y-
as a board, you have been very united. You have worked so well during this entire time.
Y esperamos seguir viendo ese respeto entre ustedes, porque ustedes son nuestro ejemplo en nuestra comunidad.
And we hope to continue seeing that respectful relationship between you guys, because you are
Para-
the hope of our community.
Para nosotros los padres y también para nuestros estudiantes.
For the parents and for the students.
Todos estamos acá por nuestros estudiantes. Y
And
no
we're all here
vamos,
for our students.
y no vamos a poder pedirle respeto a nuestros estudiantes si nosotros mismos como adultos no nos respetamos.
And we can't ask our students to be respectful if we ourselves as adults cannot respect each other.
Pero nosotros estamos muy orgullosos de ustedes por el trabajo que han hecho hasta ahora.
But we're very proud of all of you for the work that you've done up until now.
Y esperamos seguir teniendo esa fuerza que nos han dado
And we hope-
a luchar.
We hope to continue having that strength that you've given us to continue fighting.
Quiero felicitar a la doctora Chávez, a Ría, a Dayanita, a Dana, a Ronda, perdón,
Congratulate the people mentioned.
a Miss Marta. Es que tenemos tanta gente tan apreciada acá, con tantos esfuerzos, que por favor no nos limiten a reconocer a toda esta gente, porque ellos nos dan fuerza también a nosotros.
And we have so many people have given such a huge effort that we need to recognize. And please don't limit us on who we want to recognize.
Y que viva el Departamento de Nutrición.
And hurrah for the nutrition department.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Edgar Montes.
Good evening, everybody. So I filled out a speaker card because I noticed on tonight's agenda, there's no comments from the board. There's no comments on tonight's agenda that allows comments for the board. Now, I know that sometimes it's normal for people to have disagreements. It's normal for there to be differences. But I never thought I'd come to see the day again where we would have a board meeting or a special board meeting and comments from board members would be omitted from the agenda. I think it shows a lack of respect and integrity to try to silence board members' comments for any public board meeting. I don't blame our board president, but I do feel that there are people in the district who should have known better. Carlos is here tonight. Welcome. And no disrespect, but what is he doing here tonight? Who called him over here today? Were we expecting some kind of fight or violation of law? What do we need attorneys here for tonight? So I just want to say, I want to speak my piece and say that we need to find a way to work together. We do have a third of our board who is still new. I do believe we need governance training and workshops, but there's no need to go about the process in this way. I will be holding this meeting to myself. as a lesson moving forward, but there's no need to go about the whole process this way. Carlos, welcome here tonight. I hope that the district could gain much use from you being present here tonight. And just to our board, I plead to you that we work together, we find the strength to move forward, but I will speak out whenever anyone tries to limit board members commenting, limit the time board members have to speak. And I'm glad that our student board member was not here at the last board meeting to see the disruption that we as a board went through. So with that, we have a small agenda ahead of us, and let's keep moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have anyone?
That is all we have.
Is that all?
Madam President, may I
Yes.
have a point of privilege?
Sure.
Thank you. I would have filled out a speaker card, but I too expected to have comments. But I want to make sure I'm speaking to everyone, staff, family, the community, the board. Oftentimes, people are looking for blame. So I'm going to step up right now and say, I will take all blame to get it off the table. That way we can move forward. Because going behind, we know what happened. We all have opinions, but they may be right or wrong. So you want to blame someone? You blame me. Because I wish to endear all these board members and move forward with them in unity. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Do we have any more comments? Welcome back, Stephen.
Thank you.
Good seeing you.
Missed you.
Okay. So, discussion items, E1, E.1, Planning for Governance Board Workshop and potential action to designate topics to be addressed. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Is there a
Second.
second?
Second.
Okay. The governing board is planning a governance-focused workshop for March or April, and we have the dates. Martha will read out the date selection. The governing board will consider and may vote to designate topics to be addressed at the workshop, including but not limited to conduct a governing board meeting, parliamentary procedures, calling meetings, and agenda setting and review of the board bylaw. Do we have any call for questions or discussion?
So do you want to read out the dates?
Okay.
The tentative dates for the board workshop are Saturday, March 25th, 2023, Saturday, April 1st, 2023, or Saturday, April 8th, 2023.
Can you repeat the last one, please?
Yes, Saturday, April the 8th, 2023.
28th, 2023?
Yeah.
March 25th, April 8th, and which one else?
Sorry, March 25th, April 1st, and April 8th. 3 consecutive Saturdays.
Okay, so I do have a comment. Looking at the bylaws, quite a few were last reviewed 1999. And so on the review, the item that a student board member, 9322, may cast a preferential vote on all matters except for those to be closed. So that's something that we need to review because Stephen only had, he did not have that right, and reimbursement for mileage. Also, the bylaws that we have of 9003, where it was last reviewed on 5/12/1999. Board staff communication, discussion by either party of personalities or person grievance will be considered as evidence of unethical. All official communication or reports to the board committee from principals or superintendent, that's something that have to be reviewed. And also electronic devices. So we're really have our work cut out for us of the notice. And the bylaws on 9005 governance standards, it was last reviewed on 9/12/2001. And the section 9240 says, understand the distinction between board and staff roles and refrain from performing management duties, functions that are responsibility of the superintendent and staff. So that whole section will probably have to be reviewed. So it sort of falls under the items. I think we need to sort of, those were the sections of the items. Thank you.
Madam Board President, I just wanted to suggest one thing. As you look at tonight's agenda includes embedded in it, I think, several topics are probably going to cover virtually every facet of governance training that you could have.
Great.
Including, for example, the review of the board bylaws. So, for example, if there was a consensus within the board to kind of even just adopt this agenda as the topics that you're going to talk about in your governance training, a review of board bylaws would cover anything and everything in your bylaws. So,
Thank you. Any further clarification or questions?
Can you repeat the numbers for that you wanted to speak about?
Well, he said it review all of them, but the numbers that I listed is 9005.
9005, okay.
9003, but he said that it'll cover that whole section.
9005.
9322. 9322.
Okay.
And a student board member, 9150.
Okay.
Any further questions or discussion? Are you ready for the roll call vote?
I would like to, when you say that you're Carlos?
And I kind of come and go. I'm hard of hearing, and so
Okay.
whenever there's background noise, it's a little tough for me. But the translator is doing an excellent job. But that's why I moved a little bit over there. So
Okay.
yes,
During the governance training, will we be examining the entire bylaws from A to Z, or just the specific topics that Mrs. Lewis has brought up?
I think what you're going to do, my guess is you're not going to discuss every single bylaw.
Mhm.
I think what you're going to do is you're going to discuss every bylaw that's of issue for any board member.
Okay.
So, for example, Madam Board President suggested a few. In my view, if you have an agenda that says review of board bylaws, that empowers every single board member to bring up any particular bylaw that they want at that governance training.
Okay, I would like to bring up a few. It's going to be 9001.12, 9121, 92000, 9230, 9240, 1150, 1311, and I believe 9100. And also, I would like to see that Government Code 54952.7 be added to our bylaws.
My assumption is that sounds like a Brown Act site.
Yes.
549.
Yes.
And when I'm looking again at tonight's agenda, it says the conduct of the governing board meetings, and that's all pursuant to the Brown Act and your bylaws. So I feel like that would be covered and be an appropriate topic to talk about.
Okay. Well, there is one in our bylaws, the 549.5.21 is in our bylaws, but not the .7.
Understood. And I think the board could also say, if there's a consensus, the Brown Act itself could also be a subject of the governance. And to be honest, and this goes to your question earlier, Mr. Montes, one of the things I do is provide governance trainings, and so my role here tonight is try to help what type of topics would be addressed. I've never seen a governance training that didn't involve a discussion of the Brown Act. So I feel like you're right in the right neighborhood.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any further questions or discussion?
Just don't start me on the Brown Act because I believe Washington and Sacramento need it.
Okay. Are we ready for the roll call? Ms. Dominguez?
Give me 1 second, please.
And just as a point of clarification, the vote that you're going to take right now is to adopt the agenda language as subtopics for the training session, correct?
Yes, correct.
Thank you.
And the date?
Understood.
I don't think we've clarified the date yet. They've just been the tentative dates.
Are those dates that you read, Martha, are those the dates that were
Considering.
Those are the dates that we've looked into for consideration of the board.
Oh, okay. So then,
It would be Ms. O'Kelly.
how many days do we need? How many days do we need of the 1 day?
1 day training.
Okay. So what day would be best for everyone? I can't the first. I won't be here.
I can't
April
the
1st.
8th. Can we vote with Mrs. O'Kelly not being here?
Well, I
Don't
think we
have
can put
consensus with her?
the date for the next board meeting, but we're just trying to throw out some dates that was
We can work
potential.
through 'em at
Yeah.
a later date.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's fine.
Okay.
And yes, you do have a quorum, so you can take votes.
Okay. Alrighty.
For the public who may not know what a quorum is, please define it for this board
Yes,
of
sir.
5.
You have a sufficient number of board members here required to take action under the Brown Act and under your bylaws. So I believe a quorum would probably be a majority of the board. Even with Ms. O'Kelly not here, you still have at least 4, so you're in good shape.
Okay.
Could you also clarify what a point of order is under parliamentary procedure?
Well, I believe a point of order is a request to the presiding officer to have the floor. But I'll double check that against my Robert's rules. I do understand that the board hasn't formally adopted Robert's rules, but Robert's rules are uniformly used as a guide for all types of different boards.
Yeah. To my understanding, it's actually to point out a violation of the order of the preceding meeting. But it's okay. We could all brushing up on our parliamentary procedure.
Absolutely.
Are we ready for the roll call? Any further questions or discussion?
They can be during further meetings here.
All right, Ms. Dominguez?
Aye.
Mr. Montes?
Aye.
Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
Okay, Ms. Lewis, aye. Okay. So we have 4 affirmative.
Yes.
Okay, is there a motion for adjournment?
Aye.
Let's have a motion first.
Sorry.
Preferential vote by student board member would be nice.
Yes, and it would have been.
Do we have a
It
motion?
was missed on E as well, the student board member preferential vote.
I think they can only do it on, not on discussion action items, but during consent calendar,
Well,
if I'm not mistaken.
our bylaw says that he can vote on
Consent.
everything that's not
Yeah.
like, for
Right.
closed session.
Oh,
Yeah.
So that's
That's
why
what our
we're-
bylaws
You're
state.
right, and I just went by E1,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because E is usually the consent items.
So do we have a motion? Is there a motion for adjournment?
So
I'll make a
moved.
motion to adjourn.
Okay, is there a second?
second.
Okay, do we have a vote? Mr. Gaitan?
Aye.
Okay, Ms. Dominguez?
Aye.
Mr. Montes?
Aye.
Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
Ms. Lewis, aye, and 7 p.m.